Kaboom.
Are we on?
We're on.
Welcome to this week's Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. Woo, I'm Kevin. That strapping young lad over there is Brandon.
Still here, still alive. Weirdly enough.
Yeah, much to some people's chagrin.
That's right. I live to disappoint people.
Well, back by popular demand, somebody we'd had on, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 podcasts.
I believe it was episode 9, yeah.
Holy crap. This is episode what?
25.
Which, by the way, everybody can get off my ass. I said last week we had an extra that kind of
Guess
ran
who's
a little long.
back? Guess who's back?
It is
Guess
Ruben.
who's back?
Yes, by the way, I'm all over the map. By the way, welcome back, Ruben.
Welcome back, my friend.
Thanks for having me back on the show.
No problem, man. How you been?
Pretty good. So happy to be here today.
Good to have you down in Roosevelt County, here at the Mead Hall.
We do like to get Ruben on. A lot of you people say, "Hey, when's he going to be back on?" Either for good or for ill. I don't know.
Most people like to get Ruben off.
Oh,
Like to
come on. So,
get me off, baby.
Mead, Metal, and MMA, the three topics we have to come together every Friday afternoon, evening, whichever you want to call it, whatever your time zone may be, and talk about those favorite issues of ours. Ruben, you last time you were on, you brought the Cash Me Outside girl to the table.
How's she doing now?
Which I
How's
learned.
she doing nowadays?
Better than me.
I think I saw a video of her mom beating the shit out of her.
What?
Well, probably should have happened a long time ago. Really,
And it wasn't outside. That was the funny part.
I caught you inside, bitch.
So the brand new hottest things that are trending on the internets, the interwebs. Ruben's usually kind of in touch. If you heard anything about the new romper, guys are now wearing like women's clothing mainstream.
Oh, my God.
It's one of these. It's a one piece. What you saw the I don't know shit way back when the fucking
I heard somebody call it a sissy suit.
yeah. Well, that's probably about right. Like remember when Olivia Newton-John was wearing like leg warmers and shit, and that
Yeah.
weird like little thing, but it's like a set of it's a one piece, but it's like shorts and a zip up, and dudes are wearing that.
It's
shit.
like a leotard with a pee hole.
Not even that, because I don't know. I didn't delve that deep, but I do know if you're out of the club and you got to drop a deuce, you're going to disrobe.
God. And that's what you want to do in a shit-ass bathroom in a public bar is get completely naked. You know, get all them orifices opened up and ready for receiving whatever the ungodly shit you're going to take there.
So some people go from calling it the romper to romp him, which really starts to shed a whole new
And
light
then
on that.
feminists just around the world lose their minds.
Triggered.
Men are taking everything.
Lose everything. Well, they're just still pissed because Caitlyn Jenner won Woman of the Year, and proven that.
Hey, if he can do it, anybody can.
Men are taking femininity away from women.
Some men, only decathletes.
The Catholic.
Yeah, only if you've been on a Wheaties box, you might be able to take it away.
I can see why the women are mad. Like, we demand our femininity to come back.
I don't want it.
Indeed. All right. Well,
That's our meat update.
that's our shit that has nothing to do with meat update.
Yeah, that was our internet update, courtesy
Drinking
Ruben
this
Gonzalez.
evening.
Taos Lightning, it leaves no moisture in your mouth whatsoever after you take a shot.
It's rye whiskey made right here in New Mexico, called Taos Lightning, which does sound like a northern New Mexico STD, but it's actually a beverage.
And it's all right.
Should have used a rubber.
So, I'm Brandon drinking the good old Bud to the Wiser.
That was brought to you by Trojan,
Indeed.
America's most trusted condom.
Mead update this week. We've actually got news. We started. We're down to the final stretch now on our Runestone batch.
Nothing but glass carboy in time.
Moved it over last night, and it's sitting here ready. I'm guessing probably about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's going to be ready for bottling, and we'll get that one rolled out. Some people are already doing some pre-order stuff for the support of our music.
Indeed. Many thanks to all of you. Ruben, are you going to be buying a bottle?
Yes.
Good.
Did you say 3 weeks?
Probably about 3 weeks.
Runestone.
Runestone. I like the name.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
Got to start working on a label.
Yeah. That's one.
I think it can be relatively simple.
I think overthinking it would be a mistake.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but yet I don't want it to be too simple. I had one artist that I'm related to, and she basically told me if it needs to be by the end of the summer, she could hook us up.
However, if
for
it's
like
time
$20. I
sensitive.
was like, what? We need to get on. What's that website though? Like $5.
Fiverr.
And people will draw you just about anything.
Yeah. Need to get on that. Might have to check that out.
That's probably what she's doing. She's making $5 a whack every school night.
Oh, man.
Oh, all right. But and then the other artist we got over in Lubbock, he's back to working full time, so I don't know if he'd have time for that.
Well,
You an artist, Ruben?
Yeah.
Oh, well, shit. What are we doing?
You want me to design the new?
might have some ideas to spit at you here later.
Okay, I might. Yeah, I'll design. I'll Photoshop the fuck out of it.
All right. Oh,
All right,
shit.
can we cuss on this podcast?
No, you
Fuck no.
No fucking cussing.
can't. Cocksucker.
All right.
Damn.
Yeah, so,
Okay, guys, I won't fucking cuss.
But the good news, yes. So Runestone on the way, 3 weeks, and we're fixing to start maybe tomorrow.
Preliminary Green Man.
We'll get the preliminary started because what we have to do is make a straight batch of mead for Green Man. We have to make a straight batch, and then when it moves into secondary fermentation, that's when we start adding the green chili to it. Now, if you don't live in New Mexico or West Texas, you're not going to like that batch.
Yeah, not at all.
We had a mutual friend of ours. She went to California and took a bottle with her.
And it went over gangbusters for half of them.
For the people who were from New Mexico.
Yeah, people that were from New Mexico that live in California loved it. People that live in California, not a fan.
It's like, yeah, that's okay. She's like, do you want more? No, that's okay.
I mean, it's all okay.
Yeah, and again, our meat is made for drinking. Now, you can probably put it on the shelf. It's shelf stable for a very long time, most batches.
But why the fuck would you want to do that?
Because my brother has the right idea. Let that shit age a little bit. But he let he let the Sacred Tree batch age a bit much.
Yeah.
We already covered that last week. He, it enjoyed his apartment so much it had to go all over his
Copulated
floor.
all over it. It was bad. Nothing but applesauce everywhere.
So anyway, yeah, God, I got to get him a bottle off in the mail. All right, but anyway, so yeah, that's it. You know, if you're wanting to help our musical efforts, by the way, check out. We do have the standalone for our Cure cover, Love Song. Check that one out on YouTube.
I just gotta say, I heard the final version yesterday, and it's good. Y'all gotta check that song out.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yep, whoever's listening, I definitely put in my 2 cents on that. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I know we need to move into the direction of doing some originals, but there are some covers we just really, really enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of bands start like that. I mean, it's that's fine.
That's how a lot of bands usually take off, is with like Alien Ant Farm with the Smooth Criminal cover. They were huge after that.
Yeah,
people love covers. People love when any band does covers because it shows you're paying a tribute, you're paying a respect to like the music that influences you in your life. You know,
sort of.
So
some bands can blow it. Who's that band that was doing all the Shrek
perspective?
soundtracks?
It's all about
Smash Mouth.
Smash Mouth. What have they done since?
Somebody wants to tell me the world.
Yeah.
Hey now,
Too soon still.
that guy's a rock star.
Yeah.
That's another podcast. Just
But
us
yeah,
singing drunk.
Yeah.
Kevin, I see where Kevin's coming from. He's like, you got originality. You got to have that state of mind. You know,
Sure.
you got to find your original nest, your nest of originality. You know,
Which now I guess we've transitioned into the metal aspect.
We
there pretty
we
smoothly,
can't.
actually.
You know, and I know everybody is waiting because it's the only news of this week of note out of the metal empire, and that is the passing of Chris Cornell.
Absolutely.
that's
Absolutely. That. It's still tough.
I got up. What was it? Wednesday morning, right?
Yeah.
it was this Wednesday, right?
No, it's Thursday.
No, Thursday morning.
Thursday morning.
I get up Thursday morning and I see that Brandon has changed his profile photo on Facebook. Brandon's got a weird tendency of never updating his profile.
Yeah,
shit
here's
very
the thing,
often.
people. If you're friends with me on Facebook, don't use it as your primary means of talking to me because I rarely use the fucking thing unless someone I love dies.
Yeah, but man, and profile updates don't come very often. I was like, why did that son of a bitch put up Chris Cornell when he just put up Powers Booth last weekend? I immediately thought, I need to jump on Google and see what's up with Chris Cornell. Sure enough, that was the bad news. Dude had passed away right after a concert in Detroit.
Yeah, which now we know he committed suicide.
Well,
And
how many others from that '90s kind of grunge era did the same thing. I mean, maybe a little late.
Well,
but
I mean, and really, if you think about it, they all slowly kind of did because it was either heroin or
Lane
suicide.
Staley, you could say, well, it was a drug overdose. It was a long drug overdose.
Yeah, it was a long time fucking coming.
You
The
know,
fact that he made it into the 2000s blows me away.
yeah, Scott Weiland. same.
What's killing all these rock stars,
Heroin,
man?
heroin, and
Heroin.
apparently some deep-seated depression. Let's hope Eddie Vedder is on his happy pills and just doing well. Because out of the, I mean, there
I'm
are five.
still
There are
alive.
5 bands from that era. You got Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, and Stone Temple Pilots.
Mudhoney.
Well, yeah, I'm talking your big 5. You got your
Well,
big 4 and
I'll
thrash
never, I'll
metal.
never believe it when someone tells me Eddie Vedder dies, dude. Because I'll play that song and I'll be like, dude, he's telling me right now. Look, I'm still alive, dude. You're lying to me.
By the way, Ruben is our go-to for puns. He's our pun
that's-
guy.
He's the pun caster.
That's why we've been friends for over 20 years. I like his puns.
But that's the whole thing. Chris Cornell.
Probably one of the greatest voices in music.
You can't say that he's a great influence to the genre itself, not from his personal standpoint. That dude was one of the few that really had a high upper range and great clean vocals.
Yeah, and then could really bring some crunch when he needed to.
When he had to, yeah, absolutely. Now the band, Soundgarden themselves, the band itself, which oddly enough kind of started off as a weird post-punk band, but
Yeah, and then kind of almost turned into a weird metal band almost. The vocals made it a metal band.
yeah. Chris Cornell, I mean, hands down, I think greatest rock singer of the last 30 years. I mean, Robert Plant even had a comment on, and I never thought those two actually have a very similar skill set.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't thought about that.
A very high upper range, without it being screechy, but yet still able to kind of hit something a little bit lower.
When how were you first? When did you first see Soundgarden or hear Soundgarden?
It was when it was right after Mother Love Bone and that whole thing. They cranked out the tribute, the
Right.
Temple of the Dog tribute, and that was when I first was really kind of dipped my toes in the water, figuring out who Eddie Vedder is, and I was like, God dang, I don't know who the other guy is, but man, they sing really well together. And it was Chris Cornell, obviously, and that was kind of it. So 92, 93?
I got into grunge and alternative really late. Probably 96 or 97 is when I really started hearing it. First time I heard Soundgarden, which Ruben will remember, on PlayStation 1 when they put out Road Rash.
The racing game with the motorcycles.
Yeah, the Electronic Arts game with the battle. You get to fucking punch and
Which,
kick
if
people.
Electronic Arts is hearing this, you should bring that shit back.
Don't worry, man, they're not.
Isn't that the one, like the graphics were kind of goofy? You'd hit something and they'd like throw the guy over the handlebars, but it looked really
Yeah, oh yeah, it looked really bad for the time, but at the time it was fucking kick-ass, really a lot of fun. But when it came out on PlayStation 1, they actually had licensed music. It was the first time I heard Sugar Ray.
Licensed music.
Sugar Ray's first album, before Floor.
the heavier one.
Yeah, Lemonade and Brownies.
Oh, like when we played Road Rash 3D, they had that song Mean Machine? Oh, Green Machine.
Mean Machine.
Oh, Mean
It's
Machine.
low and slick and olive green.
Yeah, that was Sugar Ray got down
But
on that song.
that is when I first heard Rusted Cage. That was the first Soundgarden song I had ever heard. And it fucking blew me away. It was probably my favorite song on the whole disc. Followed closely second by Mean Machine, because I don't know. But then Sugar Ray put out Floored, and I was all like, oh, this is really weird. It's not what I was expecting at all. Then 1459 came out.
Well, have you ever caught a live show of any grunge acts at all?
No, I wasn't lucky enough to.
Do you count STP as grunge, Stone Temple Pilots?
If it's on the poppier side, I would say.
Yeah,
But
well.
I think musically, I don't know. It's almost
Because if they count, I saw those cats in Amarillo with my brother back in 96, 97.
I would say if they were in the category, they would be kind of near the bottom, not based on musicality or being good, but just based off there's some grungier shit.
Yeah, that was on there. I think they were touring in support of, it was either Purple or Little Music from the Vatican Gift Shop.
Yeah.
It's one of the two. But yeah, I mean, so if that's the case, and Cheap Trick open, that I've seen Cheap Trick more than any other band ever. Every time I go to see anybody, Cheap Trick's opening for them. So
We've discussed that because
Yeah.
I'm the same way with Mudvayne. Back when they were active, it was like every rock metal concert I went to in Lubbock, Mudvayne was on the fucking bill.
Opening tonight.
Yeah, either opening, in the middle. There was one time where I actually went because I wanted to see Mudvayne.
Wow.
And they were headlining when they put out their second album, when they looked like aliens.
Well, see, I would have loved to have seen Cheap Trick back when they're like Dream Police or something like that, like legit.
We're the Dream Police.
Well, they crank out the flame, and man, I was checking out.
I remember that song Dream Police.
I mean, they were still playing legitimate rock and roll back then.
They were.
Now, Dream Police was a little radio
That
friendly.
Dream
Yeah,
Police-
but it's still a fun song.
That
dude.
Dream Police is on Guitar Hero Aerosmith.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, Ruben, who have you seen the most in concert when it comes down to it?
Let's see. I've seen Soulfly twice.
Max Cavalera's
Fear
Band F
Fear
Subterra.
Factory I've seen twice.
Really? I've seen Fear Factory.
Guar
more
and
than
Fear
Shaq.
Factory I've both seen twice. Guar and Fear Factory, almost.
There's some talented cats in Fear Factory. That's
Oh, absolutely.
that's a band I'd like to check out, but I'm not going to see them live in this area.
Yes,
know.
you will.
Lubbock.
Oh, they play Albuquerque all the
Yeah,
time.
but
And Lubbock.
weekdays, though, right? Weekdays.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
my
because
problem.
they usually.
Weekends they're in Phoenix or Dallas or Denver or some shit like that.
Yeah, I got to see them on the when they were touring on the Archetype album.
Ah. I don't know, man. If you've only seen like bands twice, that's good for you because I think I've seen Cheap Trick. I am not even shitting you, like 6 times.
Yeah. I've seen Mudvayne 4 times. I've seen Metallica 3 times.
Well, Metallica, that's a premium act.
Yeah, when they once when they played Lubbock, when they were touring on St. Anger. No. That was one I didn't get to go to.
I saw
once in Lubbock, once in Albuquerque at the Pit, and then when I lived in New York.
Oh wow, well, all right. Well, New York's got to be all right.
A little
because,
more,
man,
yeah,
you're getting-
a premium act in a premium land.
yeah, that's it.
Albuquerque, it was kind of cool because it was Robert Trujillo's birthday, and he has family that lives in Taos.
Sure.
Or Taos or Raton? So northern New Mexico.
Taos, dude.
Taos?
Yeah.
You know, it's a local band that I've seen more than once. Remember Itch?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we saw them. They were like a Clovis metal band,
Yeah.
and we.
No, I used to date the sister of the guitar player, I think, or the drummer, or actually both, because
Yeah.
they're brothers in the band.
saw them at
That's
least.
that's the actually that's the only thing I had in common with her. I was like, oh my god, your brother was in like the band I loved in the '90s, the local band that was our shit.
And that was it.
Yeah, and that was it.
That's all.
Can you relate?
on that one topic, I could relate.
So we often talk about venues on here. Brandon is kind of the old streets. Brandon over here. We talk about like Lubbock a lot.
Yeah.
Jake's Back Room, obviously a big venue. What other venues do you like to check out live music at?
Actually, I was going to mention right away. What's today? Saturday? No, Friday.
Today's Friday.
Wednesday, I got off of work at 5 in the afternoon. I was tempted to just drive to Lubbock because Mushroom Head and the Browning and some other band were there tonight.
I thought you were going to go to that.
Yeah, I was tempted to go.
Oh shit, those are like two of your favorite
I've
bands.
seen Mushroom Head one more time, and I would see them again. I would definitely see those guys again. Mushroom Head's real cool to see in concert.
I kind of enjoyed Mushroom Head in their early phases, but I'll admit I kind of got out of it.
And
That Sun Doesn't Rise song was pretty good.
So so outside of Jake's, what do you got?
a venue that I've seen a lot of concerts at.
Well, that you like, a venue you like.
Yeah, like one of mine. I don't know if it's Journal Amphitheater anymore. but-
Sunshine. I've seen a lot of good shows.
Sunshine.
Oh, I saw Ghost at Sunshine.
Ghost has got a new record coming out this year.
Oh, those are hardworking guys. They just recently put out that cover.
Yeah,
EP.
but also, have you kept up with the shit going on with Ghost?
No, well, I know you're on top of that stuff.
Like fucking lawsuits against the lead singer, and apparently lead singer is the only one that's been a static member for the past 10 years.
Oh, a lot like Agalock then.
Yeah, exactly like Agalock.
Wow. Yeah, it's
Lots of lawsuits.
Yeah, based off unpaid royalties and apparently
Covers.
they've had 10 band members over the past 10 years.
And the last album was all covers, so I wonder if it has anything
just
to do with
like
that cover.
Agalock then.
Just
yeah.
like Agalock. Oh,
But
that's
controversy's great. I love it in the band, man. When it makes the band more colorful. Their background, their story.
great. As long as they can survive the controversy.
I guess.
It just shows you that they're humans that deal with everyday
Like
everyday shit
Metallica.
like everybody. They deal with everyday shit like everybody.
That's what Metallica did. They put out Some Kind of Monster. I mean, that was a controversial documentary just based on hardcore fans being like, this is shit we don't want to know about.
Sure.
But they came through the other end clean. Unlike Andy Dufresne.
So every band has to have a Saint Anger album, an album that's just total shit, and they even like
Yeah, sadly, some of them continue to do it.
a lot of bands have that one.
Pearl Jam decided their third record was it, and that's all they've done ever since.
I hope the Four Seasons is Winter Sun's Saint Anger.
That's thrown in the towel quick, man. At least some bands, well, Metallica took them a long time until they said, "Oh, okay, man." But
Well, let's get to this week in metal history, rock history.
Indeed. Going off of things that have happened today, not really been a big day. Don Henley got married on this day in 1995. Foo Fighters released second album, Color and the Shape. One of the best Foo Fighter albums.
That was the good one. Yeah. A lot of people would go out and buy that first one and go, "This is not the Foo Fighters."
I'm a Grohl fan. Dave Grohl's awesome.
Dave Grohl is awesome.
Dave Grohl's awesome.
People should name their child after Dave Grohl, boy or girl.
Exactly.
Or even here's my daughter Dave. Meet my daughter Dave.
Hell yeah, Dave Grohl, man.
Oh gosh.
They had Frank Sinatra's funeral on this day in 1998. Really
Well attended by a lot of cats in
New
rock.
York.
Absolutely. Today, Ray Manzarek, 2013, keyboard player. The Doors died.
Oh, hey, I'm a Doors guy. I adore some Doors.
But now, let's
Birthdays this week. Back on Sunday, bass player for Alice in Chains.
Mike Inez, who is friends with. I always get to see Mike Inez talk with Dan Doherty, W.O. Brown of Deadwood fame. They're like really good friends on Facebook. I think they're also really good friends in life.
Right.
But they're always talking on Facebook like, God, I'd love to just add Mike Inez as a friend on Facebook. But, there's why do that?
Because, you can't limit yourself to fangirling just actors.
I have to.
Yeah.
I can't get into music. I don't want to be that person. Joe Cocker was born today.
Don't do it, Ruben. I know. I saw the.
Or I take that back.
squirrel
That is on May 20th.
Brandon actually does a better impression than I do of Joe Cocker. He does a damn good.
Actually, I can't do as
Not
good
right
an
now.
impression as John Belushi did on Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah.
Oh baby, I get.
There you go. All right, so
And there it is, y'all.
metal history, rock history this week. Good week. Good week.
We got anything in real history?
What the hell did happen? They, you had Germany sign its formal surrender at the end of World War II. That happened earlier in the week. That was back in 1945. Fun stuff that happened. Shit, honestly, that Chris Cornell thing took every bit
I
of
know,
wind out of my
man.
sails this week.
And like
suddenly-
really, it just puts a malaise on me today, man.
yeah, it kind of.
It's tough to talk about. It really is. It's another one. Like when Lane died, I was fucking crushed.
Well, I have a question now. Like, he had left Soundgarden for a long time to go with Audioslave.
They'd reunited in 2010.
That's how. So Soundgarden been back since 2010.
And they've been touring. They've been touring.
So
they
7
were
years.
They were supposed to have a new record coming out this year. Now,
Oh, a new record.
I don't know.
If that record is, if all it needs is mastering, then it's coming out.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Oh no. Oh, absolutely.
As long as the vocals are in the sack, then that's
And also born on this day, Dusty Hill, bass player,
Yeah.
co-vocal ZZ Top.
Cousin of Hank Hill.
I tell you what,
They did an episode. They did an episode that had ZZ Top.
it was a great episode. That was also one of the best episodes.
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill. Phil Rudd born today. The
So we named our last
replacement,
week's podcast.
the
after that
replacement of Lars Ulrich from Metallica. And yeah, that's big. Outside of Iron Maiden's being sued, right?
Iron Maiden lawsuit.
Iron Maiden's being sued for "Hallowed Be Thy Name." Apparently, it has lyrics from a song written in '74 by a band called Beckett.
Oh.
Did they also write "Stairway to Heaven" and sue Led Zeppelin? I'm just curious. I'm wanting to know.
The '70s, that's a weird time, sir. But yeah, it's gotten to the point where they can't play "Hallowed Be Thy Name" live. It's off the set list.
Wow.
And that's a
And that
big
song's
one.
written in '74.
The song, the song that they apparently borrowed from, and the Nomad from 2000's Brave New World.
Same band.
Yeah, from the '74 album "Life Shadows" by Beckett.
I'm going to have to check out Beckett.
That might be the band recommendation for next week.
I can't blindly recommend it, but shit, it's worth a look.
Yeah, but It's just funny, even like Iron Maiden, like shit. But really, this being sued, they're being sued because apparently another guy wrote it earlier in 1969, and he didn't get his piece of the pie. The guy from Beckett, Bob Barton, did. So this Brian Quinn is suing Beckett and Steve Harris.
And so then Beckett is suing Steve Harris and Iron Maiden?
Beckett is being sued.
It's the original writer then.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the thing about music industry. Everybody owes everybody money. Everybody owes somebody.
There's a weird cyclical little circle there. So I was going to say circle jerk, but hey.
Bitch better have my money.
Let's move on to MMA, shall we?
UFC 211. It's come and gone. Was it the big card that they were needing for the time?
It was better than I expected.
Better than I expected as well. Actually, I'm gonna say this. Preliminaries blew the main card out of the water.
It happens a lot, though.
It does.
It
happens a lot more than people realize.
I think it's because when they're making these fights, there is a lot of respect between the fighters. I get that. There's a lot of parity and skill a lot of times. I mean, they'll pose like a grappler against a striker or something like that once in a while, and if they're both really high level, it might make for a great contest, but you never know what's going to happen, in MMA. You never know. The thing is, it's a little harder, I think, for them to match make some of the prelims. I mean, they know what the skill base is of these guys. They're not morons, but some of these guys their skill set is advancing rapidly. And they may very well be a very different fighter than the last time that the matchmaker saw.
Even from when the fight is announced to when they walked out to that cage, they could be a completely different fighter just based off the camp they had.
Oh,
and
no,
get
absolutely.
better from
Absolutely.
that heavyweight fight between Sherman and Rashad Coulter. My left leg pains for that poor heavyweight man.
Yeah.
He
oh my God, leg kicks,
chopped the fuck down.
Leg kicks, just yeah.
And then he got knocked out with an elbow and just folded right down on it. And I'm sure that dude's probably 270 day of fight.
Well, it was nice to see though too. It was heavyweights that didn't gas after the first round.
Absolutely, no, they were giving it their all. And that dude probably would have been Rashad Coulter would have been far more active had he probably had an extra wheel under his body.
Well, I got some bad news. Our friend Alex Pointer from Ohio, who we've been following, we've been talking about in the last couple of weeks, who's going to be making his pro debut coming up in
June 10th. God, that town's lightning. It strikes. It strikes.
Lightning strikes.
Lightning
but anyway,
strikes.
so
In the thunder.
Lightning crash.
So the unfortunate thing, so Alex ends up letting us know earlier this week that fights off. His opponent pulled out. So now
it was injury, right? Or was it made? It had to be injury.
I thought it was hilarious because he'd posted it and said, he's looking for a new opponent now. And somebody posted something like, well, probably good, probably understandable, Probably the guy probably saw Alex's fight videos on YouTube. I'd pull out too.
I'm telling you, that debut fight, whatever fight it was, that he gets that guy to north-south and just puts him to sleep almost instantaneously.
Yeah.
It's it blows me away.
Yep. Man, so anyway, so he'd sent along, said, yeah, much gratitude. You guys do awesome with the show. Thanks so much. It's humbling.
Yeah,
but,
that's very appreciated.
So anyway, but he said, yeah, I'd ask him today. By the way, we're trying to figure out some way with our technology to make it where it's a smooth, good interview.
Yeah.
With the equipment that we have, of how to get him actually live on the podcast. But I'd ask him. I said, are you having any luck finding a late replacement on your opponent for June 10th? If not, what's the next move? Just told him we're just keeping people in the loop. He said they're looking right now. He said, I told them I'd fight anyone from 125 to 135. I'm still training for a fight June 10th. Shit is part of the fight game, but I'm going to stay optimistic.
Wow. He can drop 125?
No, that's like his normal weight, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really? He fights bantamweight just because the cut's probably a little easier?
I don't know. I thought he was actually a flyweight.
I don't know. I was under the assumption dude was bantamweight.
I mean, he wouldn't be thrown out there. He can fight at 125 if he's got to make a cut that way. Because he posted earlier in the week he had 10 more pounds, and he had like 3 weeks to go. So I'm pretty sure that had to be a 125 fight, dude. I mean, I could be off my nut, but
Listen, here's bantamweight.
Well,
32nd ranked out of 778 active U.S. Midwest amateur bantamweights.
get on YouTube and look for ALEX POINAR.
This is on Tapology.
I mean, the guy is solid. He's a solid.
Oh no,
fighter.
yeah, check him out. I mean, let's see. In that fight
Bump.
was with George Murphy at Big Guns 12. 34 seconds in the first round, north-south choke.
Yeah.
Dude's just goes to sleep immediately. There's no struggle. He can't even tap.
He's got next level wrestling. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Anyway, I told him, I said, yeah, you have a great attitude and approach, man. We'll keep our fingers crossed and try to get it set up, our rig set up to chat in the coming weeks. So he said, yeah, I know I can only focus on what I can control, but I also know my dominant thoughts play a role in how things shape out. Optimism is key. So,
Good
yeah,
words.
I mean, he's got a great approach to the fight game.
Yeah, he's actually he's fought at flyweight and he's also fought at featherweight.
So he's got 125 to 145.
He fought at flyweight when he got the eye injury.
Yeah.
And he fought at featherweight the fight before that. And then went up to 135.
I mean, that guy is he's choking fools out. I mean, he definitely has got his ground game is better than probably most, I would say. I don't know the rest of that promotion because I'm a little out over my skis on that one.
Sure. Yeah, stuff outside. I mean, there's so many to follow.
Yeah.
But wherever this guy goes, we'll be following it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we're looking forward to trying to get him on the podcast in the coming weeks. But other MMA stuff, man, you have an update on what's going on with the middleweight division in the UFC.
Who's ready for another interim title fight? That is exactly what we need, is another interim champ.
So Michael Bisping originally, so Yoel Romero calls him out. You remember, this is the fight back in November, right?
You say that to me? I love you.
So
I see you soon, boy.
Bisping comes out from his little talking head spot, you know, for the Fox folks. Comes out and he's trying to talk shit back, and it's ridiculous. But you thought, okay, well, they're going to make that fight right now. No. Then the UFC comes out, tries to get GSP to come back, fight at middleweight, fight Bisping for the title,
and give him the fight. The
Which,
fight
by the
is
way,
announced. It got a poster.
It's kind of bullshit. Now, I get it from Dana White's point of view. Look, GSP has never lost a fight. You know, okay, but why do you give him his first fight back after 2.5 years laid off?
In a division he never fought in the first place.
Right, and give him an immediate title shot is crazy.
You all right, buddy?
Yeah, Ruben just found out the Taos Lightning struck again.
Thunder roll. That Taos Lightning strikes, brother. It hurts.
So, but anyway, but
that's
yeah.
some good whiskey.
So it turns out, and then GSP says, no, I can't make a fight till November at the earliest, and that's when the UFC said, that's it, we're going to move on. They set up Michael Bisping and Yoel Romero, the fight everybody wants to see.
The fight, yeah, that is a money fight. I don't give a fuck who you are. I will pay to watch Yoel Romero fight because he's gonna murk motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, and he does. He looks like he's kind of getting beat down a little bit, and that dude turns the tables fast.
You're a flying knee away from fucking defeat and a cyborg looking skull. It's scary, man. He's a scary individual, and he's not gassed. That's what's weird. He is just a thick middleweight. He's probably 200 pounds guaranteed, if not more than that.
You get stacked-looking dudes at that weight class, and usually, they've got a tank for a couple of rounds. Yeah. That's about it. This dude can go 5, I swear to God.
Absolutely.
You know. So anyway, so what happens?
Now it seems to be Dana White is thinking that Yoel and Robert Whittaker should fight for an interim belt while Michael Bisping convalesces from a knee injury suffered while doing a movie or something.
Why are they protecting Bisping? Bisping's had, let's see, okay, so he's
on Fox.
Yeah, that's that. You know what? That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Everybody on Fox. That's why I'm so resolute. I want to see Tyron Woodley lose, and I want to see Daniel Cormier lose, and Michael Bisping lose. I want to see those 3 lose because those are all champs. Fox signed all of them, these stupid contracts. Okay, yeah, I'd like to see a bunch of non-champions sitting there running their mouth.
Right. And, I mean, I'm kind of glad that Cruz doesn't have the belt anymore now.
No, absolutely.
I mean, if he decided to retire after that fight, I'd be okay with it because that dude is a great analyst and he's a great commentator. He actually he's good to listen to on a pay-per-view.
You know, and he jives really, really well with Joe Rogan. I'm not a big fan of I'm not a big fan of the 3 men in a booth kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a little cluttered, But Cruz, you get the wrestling side of the grappling, and with Rogan, you get the BJJ side of grappling. So you get a lot of different angles at
And
game.
he doesn't utilize the entire time to self-promote.
Exactly.
And we see that with DC all the time.
All the fucking time. It's all personality with fucking Cormier, of course.
Nobody loves Cormier like Cormier.
That's right. Or
But-
cupcakes.
Yeah.
Ruben, you watch any pugilistic stuff, man?
Pugilistic?
Chingaso's way.
Chingasos.
Yeah, I actually love boxing.
Yeah.
I love the shit that Chavez and Canelo fight.
Watch that Canelo fight.
That was
Yeah.
a damn good fight, man.
What do you think about Canelo?
He's pretty little.
They
badass little
they
dude.
announced that
him and Triple
Canelo
G,
and Triple G, yeah.
him and that fight's gonna go hard.
that actually that fight took the date for the proposed McGregor Mayweather fight, which, by the
It's
way,
not going to happen.
McGregor has signed on the dotted line.
Means nothing.
Now on the ending of the Chavez and Canelo fight,
That fight's happening, by the
they
way.
had Triple G as a special guest at the end, and they had a little bit of shit talking.
I will
Oh,
come
sure.
over this tape.
Triple G,
It's all-
Triple G and Canelo did a little bit of, Canelo's like, I'm not afraid of any motherfucker.
Do a little pro,
He told him
little
that.
pro wrestling buildup. All sports do it now.
Man, in the UFC, annoyingly so, by the way.
Well, no one does it more than Bellator.
But there's respect between fighters when they acknowledge each
No
other.
one does it more
Because
than
Triple G and Canelo talked shit to each other, but then at the same time they acknowledged, they're like, well, he is a good fighter. I'm looking forward to a good challenge.
Did
in the
you
ring.
did you watch the Klitschko Anthony Joshua fight?
No,
Man,
that was a good fucking
Joshua
fight.
just-
I would have watched it though.
Yeah, I mean he fucking.
I said I
hurt
love
Klitschko
boxing. I fucking
and
love the
put
shit.
him
I
down.
love the shit out of boxing.
It's good
Yeah.
shit.
I think that's why I can get. It'll be easy for me to get into MMA because I've always liked boxing, man.
We need to get your ass out here for a card.
Fucking.
You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Someone brings up boxing, I'm like, dude, conversation time. That's how I am with boxing.
Tell those
Fucking
people sign your paychecks. You got to get some Saturdays off, son.
That's right.
Yeah.
No more taxi driving for you, sir. So,
time for
nope.
a big wrap up.
yeah. Before we do though, Ruben, you got a band, which is just you, right?
It's just me.
Yeah.
Which
I thought you had a guitar player from Lubbock.
yeah, that's a different band. But like Alone in a Room is the band where I control all creative and I control everything about it.
Yeah. So that is your project.
Yeah, I've been through lots of bands, and musicians can be egomaniacs. I've been through lots of bands. Some are different, and this one is where I can control everything. All
Right.
other bands, sometimes there's disagreements, sometimes there's this, sometimes there's that. I created my solo band so that way anything I want goes. Anything I don't have to discuss with anybody, no arguments, no nothing. I want it, it goes.
So you do all the music.
So you're
I-
like the Richie Blackmore of your.
Yeah, I kind of got like fed up of. I've been in and out of lots of bands. I've been kicked out of bands. I just like, man, I'm tired of getting kicked out of fucking bands. So I'm like, one day I'm like, I'm gonna start my own. You can't kick me out of my own band. That's out of anger. I was like, out of anger, I created Alone in a Room. I got tired of getting kicked out of bands.
That's actually a really good story.
I think that's what Roger Waters did.
Yeah, and he went on to do great things.
I joined this band ABX, and then I got kicked out.
So
And
what would you
so-
call your style of music, man?
Like,
Because we're going to be putting up a song from his band Alone in a Room. It won't be after the podcast. It will be its own standalone song for you to give a listen to.
You can link to it in the description.
Yeah, there'll be a
this week.
link to it at the bottom here. What's it called?
the song is called "Abandoned Buildings," which is the name of the album. So it's the title track.
Okay.
It's track number 4 on the album.
So what kind of style you call it? I'd call it like fucking almost.
It's mixed. It's emo. It's emo, depression. No, not depression. Emo, in dark industrial emo, metal and metal.
All right.
There's a lot of guitar.
You got a lot of moving parts there.
Yeah, that's a lot of shit. That's a lot of shit to work
It's a lot of different. It's a very experimental would be the word.
I agree with that. Very experimental.
I try weird stuff. I like trying different. Weird
You're
things.
going to find a link to it at the bottom here. And Ruben, I'd like to be the first to say, man, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me on the show. I had a great time, and thanks for the whiskey, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no problem.
We'll keep that third chair open for you. Make sure you visit us every few months, man.
Absolutely.
God dang, every time we put one up, people are like, where's Ruben? Not this time. Not this
Well,
time.
now, motherfuckers, you got him.
Hey, I want to thank all the fans for all the love. I'm feeling it, and I really love it, and I appreciate it.
When you're done listening to his song, go ahead and listen to ours again if you haven't listened to it before.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
let's,
Season of Woe, Season of Woe,
Let's
man.
drop that link in there as well.
Indeed.
So, all right.
It's going to be a link fucking bonanza at the bottom of this one.
Yeah. All right, people. Some crazy things coming up over this next week. We have a UFC event on the Memorial Day weekend on Sunday night.
Gustafson and Glover headlining.
Yeah, Sunday night, a Memorial Day weekend. So we'll be back to inform, entertain, hopefully, and do our normal run of nonsense right here on the Mead Metal and MMA podcast.
Rest well, Chris Cornell.